Good evening, one and all. We welcome you to the international webinar series on holistic health, well-being, and sustainable development 2022 on occasion of World Social Work Day and month, World Health Month, and World Press Freedom Month 2022, commemorating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, nation celebrating 75 years of independence, and also International Conference on Social Work and Sciences towards One Health and Sustainable Development 2022 in collaboration with Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute and Center for Art, Sciences and Wellbeing. We welcome you once again to the international webinar. Before we start our session, let's take the blessings of Almighty.
कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शत्रुबुद्धिविनाशाय दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते दीपज्योतिर्नमोऽस्तुते शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरु त्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
With the blessings of Almighty, we shall continue to today's session. Today we have with us Dr. Vidya Hari Iyer, founder and director, psychotherapist, counselor, Dr. Vidya Smile Dental Clinic in Tamil Nadu. She is multi-talented personality. She is an entrepreneur, dentist, artist, animal lover, passionate dancer, classical singer, and author, and she has published various research publications in journals, social activities, and many more. And she has won a lot of awards also, recognitions. We welcome you, ma'am, for your session, to be kind to your mind. We thank you for accepting our invitation and joining us once again to this wonderful platform. Over to you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ravindra Sarji, for this wonderful opportunity. And thank you, Mary, for giving this wonderful platform also. And good evening, my dear delegates who have assembled here for this international conference. And it's indeed a pleasure for me to share a very important topic, and this actually traverses anything that we would like to learn, right? When I say this, I mean for every human being on this earth, it is always very important to be very kind to your own self, right? Many a times we say, are you kind to somebody else? Yes, we are kind and we understand, but are you kind to yourself is a question which we need to understand. Do you forgive yourself easily, or are you too critical about yourself? Or, there is so many times when we hate ourselves also. We feel that, we've done something wrong and it is incredibly thing that we cannot pardon ourselves. So today's session will definitely give you a lot of insights and a very personal way of how you can become, a better human being and a better person by healing yourself through this journey. So with no further ado, as I would like to thank all the organizers for this wonderful event, I would like to go ahead with my presentation. I'll start the screen sharing right now. Are you able to see the screen, sir?
Yes, ma'am. Please continue.
Okay, thank you so much. So be kind to your mind, right? Many a times when we actually, think about ourselves, we feel like, we are doing good to ourselves. But nevertheless, this pandemic and the months after that has taught a lot about self-care. right? And it has also taught us to pause and understand life itself. Many of us from various backgrounds, various age groups, different gender, different nationality, because it's an international conference, we all understand that each of us had a different way of coping with the stress which was caused because of the pandemic. So I'm just going to share 5 basic steps where you can start being very kind to your mind right from the beginning of this program, right? So first is to be mindful, at least for the next 1 hour. I want all of you to focus on what you're listening to right now so that we can have a healthy interaction at the end of the session. First is to pause. When something is bothering you beyond words, if you actually keep your hand on your chest, you'll be able to feel the heartbeat actually going very fast. If you see your respiration rate, that will also be very fast. And if you look at your emotions internally, it'll be like, so doubtful, fearful, scared, and all these kind of negative emotions, right? So the moment you need to feel all this, I would, suggest that you just pause. Once you pause, you're taking a break, you would see that the heart rate becomes normal, the respiratory rate becomes normal, the emotions start getting diluted. And then when you breathe in, you will notice how you feel, or how you feel the difference between how you were breathing before and how you're breathing right now. And take breaks. I think we have had enough and more about all the negative news that we had to hear. And please understand that media will have some sensational news every day. It might be towards good or positive, and it might be towards bad also. How much do you want to take it in, or are you going to use your filters? I will say it is up to us to understand the worldly news, because we don't want to be blind, definitely. However, I would also tell you that, you can apply filters. Only this much is what I'm going to take it in. So take breaks from anything which is going to bother your mind. Next is make good time to sleep and exercise. In today's world, when we talk to people, people say, oh, my sleep patterns are very erratic. Now, what makes them say so? Why are they saying so? It's because of the extended working hours. Now, in that extended working hours, just think to yourself whether they are the productive working hours or the non-productive working hours. The moment you understand it is non-productive, you've just spent time on the cell phone or watched the idiot box or called the television or something like that, is it that stopping you from actually having a good quality and quantity sleep? Now, this is something which all of us need to work on. And once you're able to sleep better, when you get up in the morning, it will be early morning rising, and you will find time, at least half an hour to 40 minutes for exercise. Next is reach out and stay connected. Now, reach out means reach out to anybody you think you've not spoken for a long time. It could be maybe if you're away from your parents, you can call your parents. It could be your grandparents. It could be your cousins, your friends, your work colleagues, because you've not met people for a long time. And right now, we are just opening up the avenues that you all can work offline too. So all those people whom you have not met for so long, you can always reach out and just connect. Say a hi. Definitely that would, strengthen your friendships, and it'll also make a positive relationship. Next is whenever you feel sad, or when you feel overwhelmed, or when you feel a kind of insecurity or unsafe, seek for help. Today we speak so much on the mental health is because a lot of negative aspects are happening, and it's happening too soon for us to actually palate. So it is always better. Some of us might be able to take it well. Some of us might have different coping mechanisms, and hence it is very important for all of us to take care. So let's do it together. When you inhale, Count 1, 2, purse your lips, and then breathe out as slowly as possible. As you breathe in, try to breathe in slowly, and for the breath out, make it into 2, which means if you've breathed in for 5 counts, when you breathe out, make it 10 counts. The more slow you breathe, the more long or longevity of your life is actually seen. So what all can you inhale as you inhale your breath? Inhale good thoughts, good feelings, good mood, good food, and good sleep. So whatever you think you want to have a good food for not only your thoughts, but also your stomach, your entire physical being and emotional aura, you can inhale. Now, what do you exhale then? Not only you would exhale your breath, you also exhale the negative thoughts, negative information, negative situations, negative people, and the negative words. Many people might not be kind to you in this journey of life. It's okay. But you have to exhale that emotions out and do it as many times till you feel at peace with yourself. So be kind to your mind. Do what you love. I'm not sure how many of you maintain hobbies at this point of time in life, but just think about what makes you happy. Some people say that, they love reading books. Some say they love cooking. Some say they love gardening. Some say they love to travel. They love to explore the nature. Now it's up to each one of us what actually we are focused on. But whatever it is, once you write it down, see that you spend at least minimum 20 minutes to half an hour actually enjoying this on a daily basis, because we need to be mindful, and every single day we need to actually maximize our potential. So you can exercise your brain, you can learn something new, or you can read a book. All this will keep you very positively charged. Now, when I say exercise your brain, it means, thinking about something positive, solving some puzzles, maybe even a crossword, so that you can increase your vocabulary, the way you would pick up words, use it in sentences. Thereby, communication skills would improve. When you learn something new, you're actually pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, and thereby you're trying to reinvent yourself. You're trying to explore your hidden potential, and that again gives you a lot of benefits. And when you read a book, you actually try to see the facet of yours which nobody has explored or tapped. So when you want to untap these many kind of hidden treasures within yourself, it happens when you read a book. So there are many ways to actually positively influence your mental health. And these are a few of the suggested ways which is given. And it's up to us. We can take any of them. We can take a combination of them which makes us happy. But ultimately, you should have a list, probably a bucket list of things which you want to do in your lifetime. You can have a main bucket list wherein you definitely want to do it. And then you can have a wishful list, maybe a list which makes you say like, okay, if I do it, I'll be happy. But that's okay if I don't do it also. But then the bucket list is like, I want to do it and I have to do it. And that is the kind of an emotion you attach to it. And I'm sure all of you know that we belong right now to the Mental Health Awareness Week. And that is why I took this topic of being kind to your mind. And if you look at the dates, it's from 18th to 24th May, and we are on the 23rd. So I thought it would be just right enough for us to talk about mental health and mental health awareness. And whenever it is, like whether it is to your spouse, to your friends, to your relatives, to your parents, to your child, you can speak your mind. Don't try to hide your emotions. Don't try to act in front of people. When you try to hide something, or when you try to cover up something, it actually causes a lot more stress, and that would not be good for your own mental health. So let's watch a beautiful video right now, and then I would come back again. So when you can just think and grow rich, and when we can take the responsibility of our lives, everything would actually turn out into an opportunity for us to excel and move beyond our limitations. So, are you ready for this blueprint for change? Like an architect would have an exact blueprint to construct a house or a monument or a masterpiece of his lifetime, are you ready to have a blueprint so that you can yourself turn into a masterpiece of this world? Now, this is something which each of us need to sit down and understand what we are or who we are and what we need to become in order to have a blueprint for change. So, we need to have the end in mind always. So, there is a saying which says, if you're failing to plan, you're planning to fail. And all of us have stresses because we don't know what we want and we start not working towards what we want to. So when there are two things which is happening against us, we find it to be very stressful in our life. But however, if you're really planning for success, like all of us, when we are in our probably 18 or 20, these are the things which comes as dreams in our mind. We want to have a happy home. We want to build a castle or whatever for ourselves. We want to travel around the world. We want to have good amount of bank balance, and obviously are looking out for some kind of materialistic possessions too. So these are our dreams. But are we working towards our dreams? Are we focused? Are we disciplined? Is the question which we need to ask ourselves, because we need to start working with the end in mind. And the key to success is definitely knowing ourselves. So, how is it that we are unique? What is our USP? What is so special about us that we are different when we are in a crowd? So, I'm sure all of you must be thinking, these are the things in your mind. Money worries, motivation is lacking, comparison is there, a lot of ego. I've faced disappointments, failure, fear, isolation. I'm not good at decision making. There is a lot of self doubt. There's an imposter syndrome, lack of confidence, or there is overthinking. Now, the most valued soft skills are these: to build up confidence, time management, self management skills, friendliness and manners, how ambitious you are in life, how focused are you, what's the level of common sense we have when we have to take decisions, how situationally aware are you, and are you ready to take out opportunities, how enthusiastic you are and how optimism are you, and how much empathy you share. So, this is a world where all of us are actually living in a world of our own, which is a social media world, right? We're all together, but still we are far apart. So, how do you practice mindfulness, like I told you in the beginning? So, let's all now take a seat, keep our feet on the ground, and relax. And whenever you want to do anything for that matter, you can actually take some time limit. Probably you can say, I'm going to relax for about, say, 15-20 minutes, or maybe you can say, I'm going to have an hour for myself. It's going to be a me time. Notice how your body is talking to you. Notice your breath. Notice the sounds around you, the kind of, agitation your mind is going through at this point of time. And then feel your breath. Get into the rhythm of your breath and notice where all your mind is wandering. Acknowledge it, accept it, and then, in case you think it is negative in nature, you can substitute that with all the positive thoughts you want. And be kind when your mind is wavering. It's not always you are in this phase, but when you are, you should be very nice to yourself. Once you come to that, you need to identify your time stealers. Many a times when you make a note of what you do from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you go to bed, you will understand that there are so many things you just whiled away your time. As we know, time and tide waits for no man. But we need to acknowledge these time stealers and then focus that particular time into the goals or the dreams that you have set for yourself. And that is the way you can move towards being a happy you. So think about whatever it is which is actually pulling you down and holding you back from achieving your goals. So whether it is money or time, on the, when you want to really evaluate which is weighing on the higher side, it is always time. So time is very, very important. Many times we say we need to manage time. Actually, it's not so, my dear friends. You need to manage yourself. It is self-management, or let me put it even more crispier, it is called thought management. When you actually think, you'll be able to achieve much more and you will be working towards it. Think about when you want to eat probably a cake right now. What actually instigates the taste buds to have? First, it is in your thought. Only then you walk towards a cake shop or, go towards the fridge and have your cake. So the thought management is actually much more important than just saying it's a time management process. How do you manage this thought? You say, this is the time I'm going to allocate for these kind of work. First, label your work. See which is urgent and important. Next, which is urgent but not important. Next, which is not urgent but it is important. And which is not urgent and not important. When you classify your work into these 4 categories each and every day, spend a large chunk of your time working out on the urgent and important, then urgent, not important, then give priority to not urgent but important, and last priority should be to not urgent and not important. When you work out on this in this particular fashion, you will see a world of difference. And if you can turn off your television and start reading a book, you will understand that so many people are there to positively influence you, and you can learn it from all the genius masters or mentors, as you would call them, who are ready to share their wisdom. And they say, if you have a good book in your hand, it's like having a library, right? Because it will definitely show you your face and you will know from where to start and where to reach. You need to also have a strategic analysis, which could be both internal and external. The internal will help you build your strength and understand your weaknesses, whereas the external will work on the opportunities and threats. This is what we call the SWOT principle, SWOT, and it is very well used and applied in the management areas, right? So let's have a look at a cute video, a story which we have seen and grown up as we were children. Let's see versions of it right now to understand our life better.
Once upon a time, a turtle and a rabbit had an argument about who was faster. They decided to settle the argument with a race. The turtle and the rabbit both agreed on a route and started off the race. The rabbit shot ahead and ran briskly for some time. Then, seeing he was far ahead of the turtle, he thought he'd sit under a tree for some time and relax before continuing the race. He sat under the tree and soon fell asleep. The turtle, plodding on, overtook him and soon finished the race. Emerging as the undisputed champ, the rabbit woke up and realized that he'd lost the race. The moral of the story is that slow and steady wins the race. This is the version of the story that we've all grown up with. But our version of the story continues. The rabbit was disappointed at losing the race, and he did some thinking. He realized that he'd lost the race only because he had been overconfident, careless, and lax. If he had not taken things for granted, there's no way the turtle could have beaten him. So, he challenged the turtle to another race. The turtle agreed. This time, the rabbit went all out and ran without stopping from start to finish. He won by several miles. The moral of the story? Fast and consistent will always beat the slow and steady. It's good to be slow and steady, but it's better to be fast and reliable. But the story doesn't end here. The turtle did some thinking this time and realized that there's no way he can beat the rabbit in a race the way it was currently formatted. He thought for a while and then challenged the rabbit to another race, but on a slightly different route. The rabbit agreed. The turtle and rabbit started off. In keeping with his self-made commitment to be consistently fast, the rabbit took off and ran at top speed until he came to a broad river. The finishing line was a couple of kilometers on the other side of the river. The rabbit sat there, wondering what to do. In the meantime, the turtle trundled along, got into the river, swam to the opposite bank, continued walking, and finished the race. The moral of the story? First, identify your core competency, and then change the playing field to suit your core competency. The story still hasn't ended. The turtle and rabbit by this time had become pretty good friends, and they did some thinking together. Both realized that the last race could have been run much better. So, the turtle and rabbit decided to do the last race again, but to run as a team this time. They started off, and this time the rabbit carried the turtle till the riverbank. There, the turtle took over and swam across with the rabbit on his back. On the opposite bank, the rabbit again carried the turtle, and they reached the finishing line together. Both the turtle and rabbit felt a greater sense of satisfaction than they'd felt earlier. The moral of the story? It's good to be individually brilliant and to have strong core competencies, but unless you're able to work in a team and harness each other's core competencies, you'll always perform below par because there will always be situations at which you'll do poorly and someone else does well. Teamwork is mainly about situational leadership, letting the person with the relevant core competency for a situation take leadership. And that is the end of the story.
So I'm sure this story must have brought a lot of insight into all of us. All of us have a little bit of a hare and the tortoise in ourselves. We think certain times we are able to work out well, certain times we become lazy at work. Now it is up to us to identify so that we can get the best out of our living as we work. So situational leadership definitely helps. Being ambitious is another very important thing. Only when you are ambitious, you will be able to give out your best and work towards excellence. For that, hard work, dedication, determination, and accepting and working on your failures are your stepping stone towards your success. Next is to be focused. We need to be focused at all times so that we are working or walking towards our goals on a daily basis. So stop getting distracted by things that have nothing to do with your goals. It could mean anything for that matter. And we have lots of sports people who have given up a lot of their everyday personal life just to achieve that medal, not only for themselves, but also for the country and their countrymen. So starve your distractions, my dear friends, and feed your focus, because that's where excellence is going to help you move forward in life. To be determined, to focus yourself towards success is very important. So wake up with determination and go to bed with satisfaction. Have a daily prayer as you go back to bed in the night, thanking God for what a wonderful day you had. And as you wake up in the morning, wake up with a lot of gratitude. Confidence is something you need to feed yourself on a daily basis. So once you know your strength and you accept your weaknesses, it will become very easy for you to start working and compliment as many people as you can on a daily basis. As you compliment, you create a ripple effect, which is going to be positive, and this will make your workplace and your home a better place to live. Celebrate your wins, however small they are, and show others how to treat you by the way you treat them. And be kind to yourself. Whenever you have a confusion whether you can or you can't, it's very important for you to understand that you need to remove the T's thing that makes a big difference, as said by Winston Churchill. So we need to understand that success is not just an accident. It is hard work and perseverance, learning, studying, sacrifice, and most of all, love what you're doing and learning to do. When you look at this emotional graph, you will see that when you vibrate at a frequency which is very high, you have all the positive feelings within yourself. And as your frequency becomes low, you're going into a negative outlook towards life. So it is up to us to vibrate at the frequency we want. It's just like the way you would tune into a radio station. As you tune, if it is say 91.3 FM, you have to go to 91.3. When you are at 91.2 or 91.4, you might not be able to hear the songs the way you would want to. Similarly, each of these positive energy frequencies vibrate at a particular level. You need to tune into it on a daily basis. I would say hourly basis, because when somebody says something to us, we get upset and the rest of the day goes off. So you say, oh, it's my time to reset my life, and then reset it every 1 hour so that you're moving towards your goals and towards your positive understanding of your mind. So look at this. When you have love, when you have kindness, look at your body vibrating. Whereas look at it when it is depressed. So always see that you are in a higher energy mode so that you can feel nice and happy about yourself. Be enthusiastic. Be that light wire in the room where you are, so that whenever people look at you or people hear your voice, they know there is something fantabulous waiting for them. We know knowledge is power, but enthusiasm actually pulls a switch. And you have to radiate this positive energy to all those faces which are not putting up a smile right now. What are the benefits of exercise? I'm sure all of you know. From the start to the end, it has a lot of benefits. It keeps your body agile, it keeps you moving, it helps you actually have a good, healthy life, thereby improving your lifespan. It also helps you improve your memory, and thereby your memory is also, the attentiveness is for a longer time. It boosts your decision-making skills. It has a good positive effect on all your cells of the body, and it helps you do a lot of things which your mind has wanted you to do. So what are the keys to help your mind be calm and relaxed? You need to have a good social connection, stay physically and mentally active. You can manage your stress better. You have a healthy diet for your brain too, good quality sleep of around 6 to 8 hours on a daily basis, and you understand your meaning and purpose of life. So these are, a simple things which I've just listed it down. You can understand and probably adapt or adopt any of them if you don't do it on a daily basis. You can just take about 10 minutes to stay calm, or write a letter to somebody. I know letter writing has become zero, but then you can start writing letters and share your favorite well-being tip to any of your friends who need your help. And you can do anything, laugh, smile, be happy, or you could donate your time and efforts for a good cause, and probably work with an NGO or something which will give you happiness. You can also have some post-it cards on your desk just to make you feel nice, or give it to some of your friends whom you think you really want to appreciate from the bottom of your heart. And most of us say dance and music therapy also helps. If you're one of those, you can listen to or tune into your favorite music, or probably dance with a favorite song. It is all up to you. So as Maya Angelou said, you will face many defeats in life, but never let yourself be defeated, which means you need to keep arising one more time. And that's the only way your success will be the talk of the town. I'm sure most of you must have read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And in that, he speaks a lot about the basics of life, as how you and I can become successful and thereby reduce our stress and be happy. And it is something which we need to invest our life on. So it is, if you want to be rich, then invest your mind and buy assets. The single most powerful asset is to have a great mind. When I say mind, I mean a positive mind. And when you avoid failures, you're actually trying to avoid success also. And we need to understand that until unless you start working and you start pushing, nothing is going to happen. And whenever you look at your body, you will understand that there's so much of work going on, and we need to be in gratitude to God to have a functional body at all times. And money, again, as a monetary basis, is something very, very, very important. And we need to know that, when you are hardworking, you will earn whatever money you wish your eyes to see. So this is some exercise we I generally give to all my clients. One is called the spokes of a wheel. And these, spokes will have each of your whatever you want to excel in life. Now, suppose I put health, and say I want to reduce weight, but I'm not taking any effort. So then you can say, okay, this week I have my health, let's say probably 0. And imagine next week you tried walking and probably went out for at least 3 out of 4 days. And then you say, great, I did a score of 3. And why the other weekends, sometimes people just want to have fun on the weekends, right? So whatever it is, you can chart your day and then work out for every single thing that you think you need for in your personal life. And having a good work-life balance is the main art of living our life. So every time you say that, you're going to have a work to do, you will always say, oh, I don't have time. So never say that. Try to balance and try to make some time to have the best life which you wish to have. So this is what generally I do on a 24-hour basis. I'm just going to share a short video. So it's up to us, my dear friends. As I tell you, I also do it and then follow it on a daily basis. So this is something where we actually work it out and then we share our experiences. And that's pretty much what I believe in doing. There is nobody who wants to just listen to some nyan, right? You have to live it to prove it to the world that you are doing it, and that's how people can do it too. So explore new horizons, reinvent yourself every day, and constantly challenge the challenges, because it's one life you got. Don't just breathe, live your life king size. Take one day at a time and evolve as a person in your journey of life. So empowering others to touch the world is another thing where you can work in tandem with people so that, together we can make this world a better place to live in. And I would like to thank all the organizers of this program, Ravindra Sarji, Mary, and all the others who have really worked hard to keep this, Azadi Ki Amrit Mahotsav going forward. And I just wanted to share a small story before I call it an end. It's a story of the sunflowers. And I'm sure all of us, when we look at the sunflower, we know it's something so beautiful. It's so bright yellow in color, right? So the sunflowers, you will see them really glowing, and they look up to the sun to take the energy and be happy and positive. And if you understand the color, yellow is the color for the mental health too. Now, imagine a gloomy day where nothing is going right and probably it's raining or whatever. Then the sunflowers, they look at each other and get the energy. So let us look at each other and grab the energy, the positive vibes from each other so that we can have a beautiful garden of sunflowers in this world. So I want to be like a sunflower so that even on the darkest day, I will stand tall and find the sunlight. So sunflowers, as I told you, follow the sun. And when it's cloudy and gray, they look at each other for energy. And that's how we can also be. So the most important person in your life is you. Be happy, my dear friends. Stay positive. Bounce back on life. Be courageous and resilient. Be committed to self-care. Love yourself immensely. Be kind to your mind because you are unique. Thank you so much, Ravindra sir, for this opportunity. And if there are any questions, I would like to take them at this point of time.
Thank you for the wonderful session, ma'am.
Thank you, sir.
It was really need of the hour to look and be positive to ourselves and encourage ourselves in spite of all the odds that are happening, because life is part of everything. I mean, all the good and bad things are part of life. We have to take it positive, as rightly said. We should always have the positive outlook towards our own life happening. So participants, feel free to discuss or share your comments, observations. Yeah, Mary ma'am.
Hi, ma'am. Actually, there's one proverb now, practice before you preach, that is very applicable to you, because you practice and you tell. That is very, because many people tell they don't do in practice, but that proverb is meant only for Vidya Hari madam, I feel.
Thank you so much. I truly believe, you can't talk until and unless you have done it on your own lives.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we will be preachers, right? We are not here to preach, we are here to share. And who will believe you if you don't follow it yourself? I think, that is something which is very, very necessary. So until and unless you are able to truly work out on yourself and prove it to the world that it is possible, it is not an excuse that we give, it is something which we need to discipline, or even probably self-discipline much more. Many a times we say, they have to do it right, or, something is going wrong from there. And we also have to look back and see what we are doing wrong. So, that is the way it will be, much more meaningful for all of us. If there are any questions, definitely.
Yeah. Ma'am, actually, the first time I met you, I told I see you in me, because I feel I do justice and I'll leave the reward or punishment to God. That first time I met you, I saw that. So you've always been my inspiration. I see everyday Florence in me, you. So that's how I take life. It is, and you've done justice. Justice is not the 200% you've just, especially your PPT is mind blowing. So every time I get shocked of your PPT, how you do so beautifully. You can't do like that. So I learning every day session of yours. Now yesterday also I listened, today also, but every day I'm taking new efforts from you. So I hope all the best, and always keep smiling like Smile Dental Clinic. All the best, ma'am. God bless you for in your profession and your life. And all the best. May always good things happen. No worries come to your life. That's my biggest. Always smiley and happy. That's the sister's wish from Bangalore.
Thank you so much, Mary, for those beautiful words. Thank you. I mean, you made my day. As Mark Twain said, if you hear 2 compliments in an entire year, that is enough to keep you moving forward. So, when you said so many things nice, it really makes me feel very nice. Thank you so much. And definitely, it is very important for all of us to understand ourselves first. The most difficult thing, like how Swami Vivekananda said, if you don't sit and talk to yourself on a daily basis, at least 1 hour, you are missing meeting the most important person in this world. So when you sit time and when you start breathing, being mindful, what actually happens is you have a kind of a self-realization. You understand where you are right now, where you have to go, and what are the steps you need to take to reach there. So definitely it makes a lot of difference, and all of us are work in progress. Nobody has arrived and nobody has reached the zenith. We are all human beings and we are all going to do mistakes. Nobody is infallible, but nevertheless, it is always something which we can get better on a daily basis. I think that makes a lot of difference. I'm definitely going to read out certain questions which I see on the chat box. So thank you, friends. I know there are so many people who are appreciating for the talk. Thank you so much. So here there is a question from Vidya Sagar. He says, "You're right, but how to get what is that reliance? These thoughts. How do we realize these thoughts at all times? Is that the question?" And there is another question who says, "How to be positive? Give tips, ma'am." So definitely, how do we become positive at all times, right? So imagine you're going or walking on a road, right? And at the end of the road, you have 2 pathways. Okay, it's a dead end, say like the alphabet T. So at one point of that, the road is moving towards, one is moving towards the positive side and one is moving towards the negative side. So what is it that you are going to choose? Now that is something which you need to train your mind. Let me give you an example. Probably it will help you understand better. See, I have got up at around 8 o'clock in the morning today, and I have a very important meeting at 9 o'clock. Okay. And I have to travel a distance which will take me at least around half an hour to reach, which means if I backtrack, I have to be in the office at 9 o'clock. At 8:30 or 8:25, if I reach, only I would be able to reach the office in time for the meeting. Now, which means I have only about 20 to 25 minutes of my time. Now, I have 2 options, right? The first option is I can crib that I got up late, and I can crib that I have no time to finish, probably my breakfast, have a bath, get ready and rush to work, or probably I'll do all this, but I'll be late to the meeting. So I have, options. So I can crib all this. Or the second. So the second thing is, okay, now I have 20 minutes solid. Let me see how fast I can do things that I can still be on time for work. This is how I can positively train. Next, okay, I have to reach the meeting by 9 o'clock and I'm in a traffic jam. And I'm looking at the clock and it looks like the traffic jam is really, a massive one that I'm not anticipating to be on time for work. So what do I do? One, oh my God, I'm late. This is what happened and that happened. I keep blaming people. I keep blaming myself and all that. Second option, okay, I know I'm stuck in a traffic jam. I know I'm getting a little more, delayed, but God, I should be on right time for the meeting so that I can get the best out of the meeting. Or then you can program your mind. Okay, what is the thing that you're going to discuss in the meeting? What are the points you want to talk? or what are the points that you want to deliver so that you get a better output or outcome of that meeting. So this is how you can positively train your mind. When you put your effort, your energy into such positive thoughts, the outcome will also be positive. Just think about a farmer. A farmer has a land. Now this land, he can plant seeds which are not so good or plant seeds which are good. Now imagine he plants a seed which is not so good, and another farmer is planting good seeds. How will the produce be? You tell me. So it's up to us. We are a garden by ourselves. It is up to us to plant consciously good thoughts, positive thoughts into our brain. I know it is very difficult to be positive at all times, but I will tell you a very simple example. And once you do this example, it's not enough if I say and you understand, but if you do this example, you will understand the value of what I spoke for the last 5 minutes at least. I'm going to take a glass of water and I'm going to fill it up with the water, right? Now imagine I'm taking a pinch of turmeric and putting into this. I'm just trying to have an analogy that this turmeric is negative and this glass, which had water, was good enough for me to drink. But right now, because of this negativity, I'm unable to drink this, right? Now, keep a bigger vessel and open the tap and see that this glass is just under the tap. As water flows into this glass, you will see that the yellow color or the yellow tinge which you had added because of the turmeric is now getting diluted, 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 till the entire glass becomes again white, so that or colorless, so that you can drink it again. Now, look at that bigger vessel, how much water you needed to actually remove this negativity. You'll be surprised, my dear friend. It's not going to be for a glass of yellow colored water, you're going to get another glass of white colored water. No, the dilution will happen to such an extent that you can remove those negativity only by adding so much of positivity. So how can you always be positive? Tough question to answer, but I can say try to dilute your negativity and keep pouring positivity into your mind on a daily basis. That's when you will be more positive in life. The next question is it is difficult to remain about self-care and become influenced by other thoughts and behavior. So self-care is something which, is probably something which you need to work on a daily basis. Now, I don't know what is your needs or your wants. Probably you can connect to me on a personal level. I will share my telephone number right now on this chat box and you can connect with me, but I will answer your question right away, just to help you understand that, this is what we can do. So that's my number for people who want to connect with me personally. So how do you self-care? So the first thing is you just look at yourself. Probably you feel like, over the years, you put on some weight and you want to reduce weight. Now, this is not something like body shaming that you have to look thin or slim, nothing like that. Probably you're finding it difficult to climb up the stairs. Your knees are hurting. Your clothes which you wore are not fitting you fine. It's a little bit tight. So that's why you want to reduce your weight. And your doctor has also advised you to reduce your weight because probably you're diabetic or hypertensive, cholesterol, something. So now you're thinking, oh, I have not taken enough time to take care of myself. And then you have a list of reasons. You'll say, oh, I had to do this, I had to cook in the morning. I didn't find time to get up and go for exercise. Children had to go to school. Husband had to go to work and blah, 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 blah. So you're finding a lot of excuses. Now, sit and write a list why you want to do it. And these are not excuses. These are the reasons why you want to do it. So it could mean anything. I'm just giving you an example. So once you make this list, take this list and keep it somewhere where you will look at it every day. So the moment you feel, oh, I don't have time, what you can do is, even inside the house, you can just sit up and sit down, or, start running down the stairs. You don't have time, right? It's okay. So whatever time you get, some 5 minutes, 10 minutes time, just take that and keep running up and down the stairs. This will increase your agility, will increase your mobility, and then you'll become so brisk at work that you will be able to steal maybe another 10 minutes. And that is how you will find the time to exercise. Now, this is just a simple tip, which probably many times I hear housewives come and tell me, ma'am, it's very difficult. We just don't find time. I said, no problem. When you're cooking, how long does it take? They say maybe an hour or 1.5 hours or 2 hours in the kitchen. I said, great. How do you cut your vegetables, and how do you wait for the milk to boil or the pressure cooker to give a whistle? I say, sit down and get up in the kitchen itself. Do some physical mobility, move your neck right and left. You're in the kitchen, you can still work it out. So when you find your reasons, my dear friends, your excuses just vanishes away. It is something like, I'm just putting it again in an analogy format. It's nothing to do with science, but imagine, you have a lot of doubts in your mind. It's like the night, the dark night, and you are a little upset with life. But what happens when it's sunshine in the morning? The darkness just goes away. Similarly, when you put your reasons, your reasons forward, your excuses just vanish away. Your reasons will be the sunshine in your life. And that would give you the much more, clarity of your thoughts and your behavior. Behavior is something, again, which we need to work out on ourselves. This is a very, it is very personalized. So when you say you want to change your behavior, write down what in your behavior is upsetting you or you're not very happy about, and work out on yourself and see how much better you've become then from what you were yesterday. I'm sure you know the law of tiny grains, right? So 1%, if you are improving on a daily basis, at the end of the year, you would have improved so much more. It's actually 31% more. So we are all work in progress, and all of us, you, me, everybody on earth, we are all work on progress. So it is just how you were yesterday to how you can be tomorrow, and there is no comparison with you and any other person on earth. So whenever you take even self-criticism, take it in a very positive note and work towards yourself, because what you're going to get at the end of the day is going to be an amazing person, and you will fall in love with yourself. I hope I answered that question. Thank you so much. Any other questions, my dear friends? I'll be there to answer. You can unmute also if you want to, speak up. I think there are no more questions, Ravindra sir. You can go on.
Thank you, ma'am, for clarifying the queries also. It was a really wonderful session. Everyone enjoyed, and a lot of appreciation in the chat box as well. We thank you once again for joining us on behalf of Sri Holistic Health Foundation India and Sri Research Institute at Center for Arts, Sciences and Wellbeing, and also on behalf of all the participants. We thank you once again for joining us and for the wonderful session, and we wish you all the success. Thank you, ma'am. We'll be sharing your certificate through WhatsApp in a day or two. And participants, kindly fill the feedback form. It is being shared in the chat box so that you can receive your certificate. There is a link provided in the chat box for the feedback form. Kindly fill the feedback form. And also there is a website address provided from where you can download your e-certificate as well. So kindly save this message. And it's available on the registration message also every day with the registration message. This link is also being shared.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, delegates. Thank you for your patient listening and a wonderful interaction. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. We are waiting for the participants to fill the feedback form. As per your convenience, you can stay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
ரொம்ப பேர் இருக்கு ஓட்டது
Dear participants, quickly fill up the feedback form. We are giving ample time, 10 approximately, it doesn't take even 5 minutes. We are giving 10 minutes, 15 minutes time, but still many are not filling up the feedback form and asking after the meeting has ended. So first thing is we are having feedback within the Zoom platform. So there is no link that can be shared. So that is the technical issue limitation. So you have to fill up the form in the Zoom platform only. So that is one thing. That's why immediately after the session we are sharing, and from tomorrow onwards we will not give time also. We are also busy. So we will not give you much time. We can't give you much time. So we'll exactly give you 5 minutes or 10 minutes. You need to fill up the feedback form, and no feedback forms will be shared outside. Uh, there was some technical problem, and due to which we are sharing today the Google form link. But otherwise, from tomorrow onwards, we will not share strictly. We are giving enough time. 15 minutes is maximum time. You can fill the form 4 to 5 times. But still, many are not filling the feedback form. I don't know whether you are really attending to the session or just logged in and putting up, because you are not at all interacting also. So we don't know really whether you are. So it's a very good time. So immediately fill up the feedback form. We value your time, you are joining, and we need to follow certain instructions. And we are also busy like you, and we cannot keep checking. Once certificates are issued, we cannot issue a single certificate. It's a lot of pain for us. First, we need to, whenever you approach us, we need to check your attendance in Zoom. So we have to again go to Zoom and log in there and check whether your name is there or not, and how much time you have attended. Then the certificates are generated automatically through a software. So again, we need to, because we feed all the names at once. Again, if we generate, there is a possibility of duplicates again, and there are a lot of other technical issues if not being done properly. So we cannot generate certificate. So make sure, that's why we are taking some time. Why this 15 working days is, sometimes it happens that some of you might have attended and due to technical reasons, or you couldn't fill the feedback form, or at least you can get back to us so that we can do something. But when we are issuing on day-to-day basis, we cannot do. We cannot rerun the entire script to regenerate this certificates. It is not possible. It's also time consuming. We cannot sit hours together and check each and everything. It's not possible for you also. You can be in our place and you can think. So let us follow the instructions carefully, and let's all enjoy. We are anyway enjoying the knowledge. But if you follow the instructions, everyone will be smoothly traveling in the journey. You can find all the certificates. Daily we are issuing certificates. So don't worry about the certificates. Only thing is many people are not following instructions. See, the instructions are very simple. You have within 15 working days, the certificates will be issued. So we are taking time so that if anyone misses out, they approach us. We also have time and try to accommodate. But once issued, we cannot do anything. We cannot redo entire process. Yesterday's Sunday's webinar also we have issued the certificates. There are other certificates which are pending. We will be doing it within 15 working days. So make sure you fill the feedback forms and attend. Some of the participants are joining in the last minute and filling the feedback forms. That is also being observed. We have informed many times also. Don't do that because it doesn't good ethically, morally also right. Joining only for the feedback or certificate because that doesn't make any sense. So do join in time. We are starting anyway. We are taking 15 minutes ahead, and we are starting at 6:50. Let us know we can start at 6:30 also. That's not an issue. But make sure you are attending in time, and only after attending you fill the feedback form. And in the flyer, everything is there. The links are there. In spite of that, everyone keeps asking where is the link. So we are not even at least reading the flyer properly. Right, all the links we are putting on flyer. Otherwise, it will be half the flyer. But we are reminding you the Facebook group. Many are not joining the Facebook group also, Telegram channel also, and they keep daily asking. We have to be organized after listening to so many sessions. We are not ourselves organized. Who has time when we ourselves do not time? Why others will give us time and waste their time? We all are running ahead of time, and so let's be organized. We all are professionals. So let's be organized and conserve each and everyone's time. Thank you everyone for joining us. And we will also be sharing the attendance also. Don't simply fill the feedback. Our system is also taking care of putting such participants into blacklist. So if you fill the feedback form without attending, without having minimum attendance, it will keep you in blacklist and you will not be issued certificate even if you attend in future events also. So don't do that because it's system, it's not human being, it will not listen to us. It has been programmed in such a way. So it will block the email address. So don't do that from next time. Only if you are having attended at least 75% of the session only, you fill the feedback form. And because Zoom will automatically generate the attendance and it will cross check with the attendance, then only it will issue. Anyway, we are also intervening in the middle and we, in spite of not attending completely also, we are issuing, but it takes a lot of time and efforts for us. We have to manually, we have to change the settings and do it. So don't trouble us. We are also taking time. It's very difficult for us also. We are taking time and organizing so many things. Let's all be cooperative, collaborative with each other and support each other. Thank you everyone. We are ending the meeting. I have shared the feedback form in the chat box. Once again, I am sharing. Fill the feedback form immediately.